James and Rita, I was astonished. Christopher there was talking about the use of language, and you were discussing that, James, how the words are manipulated. Nancy Pelosi tried to get the gender language changed in the US Congress. She said, we're not going to use the words grandfather or father or mother anymore. And yet within a few days, have a listen to what she was actually saying.
I stand before you as a wife, a mother, a grandmother, a daughter whose father proudly served in this Congress.
James.
Well, I mean, look, that's just, Rowan, I'm literally shaking right now. I'm so triggered by her use of all of these words like wife and mother, when, of course, she should have said a person of marriage and a person of parenthood and, you know, all of the other sort of ridiculous things that we've spoken about on this show. It is so, you know, I mean, guys, 1984 was written as a warning manual, not an instruction manual.
OK, well, while you're on a roll about gender, petromasculinity is the new thing, Rita, apparently. James, tell us.
You know, petromasculinity is, so this is, I hadn't heard this term until a Vancouver councilman started talking about this the other day. He saw a great big ute, a pickup truck, as they call them over in those parts, and it triggered him so much that he was literally shaken. While he was literally shaking, he tweeted about how this was an example of something called petromasculinity. Well, I had a look. Apparently, petromasculinity is all the big rage on the left. There was a Journal of International Studies in 2018 where they actually wrote a whole story or a whole paper on fossil fuels and petromasculinity. It has been and the historic role of fossil fuels in perpetuating white supremacy and all of this. And it's this thing called petromasculinity. So apparently, if you like to drive a car and you want to keep driving your car, you are responsible for the Ku Klux Klan and climate change and everything else.
Now, Rita, speaking of white supremacy, you've got a terrific story for us about what exactly, following from what Christopher was saying, how everything is white supremacy if you want it to be.
Oh, is this our Democrat councillor friend who's just decided everything is white supremacy? Electoral college, pillar of white supremacy. Filibustering, pillar of white supremacy. College debts, pillar of white supremacy. Even though the majority of debt, college debt, is held by white people, it's a pillar of white supremacy. So this is just a brilliant tactic from the hard left. You just label anything you don't like a pillar of white supremacy, and then anyone who argues against it, well, they're a white supremacist. Argument over.
Exactly. This fella, I can't remember this bloke's name, but he's a Democrat congressman, so he's the, you know, they're now in the government. And you're right, Rita, he, as an official, you know, government representative, is out there labelling. Here he is, this bloke, Jamal.
That's him. We finally got his picture up.
Yeah, we got him there.
Bowman.
And then we'll show you his tweet as well, where there you go, every single thing is
electoral
white
college,
supremacy.
Pillar of white supremacy. Student loan debt, pillar of white supremacy.
God, as James says, it's going to be a long 4 years. Now,
The lunatics are running this.